Salve to Discipuli. This is Magister Buddy, and this flipped lesson is going to cover the new material for stage 18, which is the fourth and fifth, and thankfully final, declensions for Latin nouns. First, quick review of the noun purposes. Make sure that you know these. This is your decoding chart. This helps you to know what the purpose is of a noun in a sentence. And here are new endings for the fourth and fifth declension. Take a moment, pause the video, and fill in your new charts. Make sure that you pay close attention to any similarities between the fourth and fifth declension and the other three declensions that we already know. Thankfully, there are some overlaps that can help it be easier to learn. For example, I'll just point out the accusative singular is in the fourth declension, which you'll recognize from the second, in the fifth declension, which you'll recognize from the third declension. So just take some time and notice some of the other similarities to help you in memorizing these new charts. And here are the endings attached to some words that we already know. Notice some duplicates that can make it a little bit difficult in figuring out what the purpose of a word is. For example, the accented US in the genitive singular, the accented US in the nominative plural, the accented US in the accusative plural. This is a problem that's not new to us, though, and we can work on having methods to sort through all of those. Take a moment and copy down these sentences. Draw arrows from the adjectives, underline the adjectives and draw arrows to their antecedents. Put a double underline for the possessives and draw arrows to their antecedents. Put parentheses around your prep phrases. Remember, prep phrase is going to be 2 or 3 words. It can be 3 words if it has a possessive or an adjective modifying the object of the preposition. Anything that's left over, label it as your subject complement, your direct object, your indirect object, an adverb or a verb, and then write out your translation. All right, so let's go ahead and look at these sentences. The first one, multi is an adjective. It's modifying naves. There are several different things that an AE can be. There are 2 different things that an ES could be. The only thing that both of them can be, though, is nominative plural. Alexandriae can be a couple of different things, but here it makes most sense as a genitive modifying the port. So we have 2 words left over, erant and naves. This is an imperfect verb, and this is nominative, so it's our subject. And this reads, there were many ships in the port of Alexandria. Next sentence, we've got in rogum is our prep phrase. Sacerdotes is nominative, so it's our subject. True that this ending could be nominative or accusative, but effigium can only be accusative, and our verb is plural because it ends in nt. Therefore, it would make sense to have a plural subject. So back to effigium, that's accusative, it's our direct object. Our verb is perfect, so this means the priests placed the effigy in the pyre or onto the pyre. All right, here we've got hoc. I know we haven't officially learned this. It's from an adjective-like chart that means this. And hoc is accusative feminine singular, so it's modifying urbe. That's our prep phrase. Tumultus, here is an example of that annoying accented US. We have a few different options for what this could be. We know that it is accusative, plural, because of the verb. This verb here ends in S, therefore the subject is you. So this can't be our subject, it has to be our direct object. And then quotidiae is an adverb. So this is that, and this ne right here indicates that you're entering a question. So do you see the crowds in this city every day? All right, next sentence, we've got our prep phrase, in manibus. Servi is nominative plural, it's second declension, so since it's nominative, it's our subject. Fustes, that es there could be nominative or accusative plural, but we already have a subject here. So since it's accusative, it's our direct object. This is an imperfect verb, And so it reads, the slaves were holding clubs in their hands. The there is just assumed. All right, next sentence, DA room. This is our fifth declension, fifth declension genitive plural. What would it most likely be possessing? Could it be possessing the boys, or could it be possessing the names? It really makes more sense for it to be possessing the item that's right next to it. And we label what we have left. Pueri is nominative, so it's our subject. Nomina could inform that could be nominative or accusative, but since we already have a definite subject, we're going to make our direct object. And then here is our verb. So the boys recite the names of the gods, or you could say the boys recite the gods' names. All right, last sentence. De impetibus is our prep phrase. And what do we have left? Well, this is a little confusing. Tabernarii, you have to know that this is a second declension noun. Therefore, that accented I could make it a plural subject. It could also make it a possessive, a singular possessive. Clementi, so let's hold on to that for a second, but Clementi has to be dative. Clemens is a third declension noun. That accented I means that it's dative. It's your indirect object. And since we have a plural verb, then we can go back to our subject over here and determine that this most likely is our subject. So, the shopkeepers were telling Clemens about the attacks. So remember, the charts are your decoding tool, especially for nouns. If you do not know your charts, you are not going to be able to tell what a noun is doing in the sentence other than by purely guesswork. Memorize the fourth and fifth declension endings. Don't be overwhelmed by this. Remember, there are several similarities between the first, second, and third declensions and the new ones. Recognize those similarities to make the task easier. Vale te discipuli.